The entire hall seemed to thrum with a current of anticipation. Fans had packed into the grand venue, every eye locked on the stage, waiting for that familiar spark of warmth, wit, and magnetic charm that had become the signature of Outlander's beloved duo, Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe. Over the years, audiences had grown used to their playful banter, their inside jokes, and that undeniable chemistry that blurred the line between Jamie and Claire on screen and Sam and Caitriona off it. But on this particular night, something shifted. Something unforeseen unfolded, something that left Caitriona silent, froze the crowd in breathless suspense, and set the internet ablaze in seconds. It began harmlessly enough. The host leaned forward, mischief glinting in his eyes, and asked the kind of question that makes actors squirm but fans secretly crave. So, Sam, who is your dream girl? Normally, Sam Heughan would have chuckled, deflected with a joke, or diverted attention to his latest project. He was a master at this dance. But this time, his demeanor changed. His smile softened with thought. His gaze dipped briefly before lifting again, and a hush swept across the room as every person leaned in. Beside him, Caitriona raised a questioning brow, expecting the usual clever comeback. Instead, Sam drew a slow breath, and when he spoke, his voice carried both hesitation and an unshakable sincerity. You. No. He began carefully, I've been asked this question countless times. Everyone expects me to name a celebrity crush, some glamorous star, someone out of reach. But for me, my dream girl was never about fame or appearances. The words came unpolished, raw, as though locked inside him for far too long. She's the one who understands me. The one who makes me laugh when I'm drained. The one who challenges me, pushes me, but lifts me when I fall. She's strong. She's independent. She's kind. He faltered for only a heartbeat, but the silence that followed was electric. The crowd held its breath. Caitriona's lips parted, as if to interrupt, but no sound came. Her eyes softened, flickering with something unreadable, shock, wonder, perhaps recognition. Sam pressed on, his tone deepening with emotion. I think the real dream girl is the one who's been by your side all along. The one who knows you, not the actor, not the character, not the public face, but the man behind it all. And maybe the reason I never answered before, was because silence was easier than the truth. A collective gasp rippled through the audience. Dozens of phones shot higher, recording every word. Sam gripped the microphone tighter, as though bracing for the storm. And then, just for an instant, he turned, looked at Caitriona. Because she's right here, the room erupted. Gasps, cheers, shrieks collided into chaos. Fans leapt to their feet. Others slapped hands over their mouths in disbelief. Cameras flashed like lightning. The host froze, wide-eyed, as if the moment had escaped his control. But it was too late, the moment was immortal. And Caitriona Balfe, always poised, always quick with words, sat stunned. Her cheeks flushed scarlet, her hand brushing her hair as if to shield the turmoil in her eyes. For once, she was utterly speechless. Her lips curved into a shy smile, but her gaze betrayed a storm of unspoken emotions, warmth, surprise, vulnerability, something fragile and unguarded. For years, fans had speculated about their bond. Their on-screen love as Jamie and Claire was undeniable. Off-screen, Caitriona once called their connection beyond love. Yet both had sworn, time and again, that they were just friends. Partners. Confidants. But Sam's confession, unplanned and unscripted, was impossible to dismiss. The air crackled. Social media exploded within minutes. Clips of Sam's words spread like wildfire. Tweets poured in. Did Sam Heughan just admit Caitriona is his dream girl? The fandom dissected every glance, every blush, every brush of Caitriona's hair. And yet, in that moment, none of it mattered. What mattered was the silence louder than applause, more intimate than words. A silence filled with years of shared history. Finally, Caitriona's hand moved. It rested gently on Sam's arm. A small gesture, but enough to steady them both in the whirlwind he had unleashed. The first chapter of this story ended not with answers but with a cliffhanger. Had Sam truly confessed his feelings before the world? Or had he only honored a bond so deep that fans mistook it for romance? Either way, the magic was undeniable. Sam was left exposed. Caitriona was left wordless. And the world was left starving for what came next. Cameras lingered on Caitriona, capturing every flicker of her face, the widening eyes, the half-swallowed laugh, the subtle shift in her chair. At last, she exhaled, her lips curving into a smile both warm and incredulous. "Well," she said, her Irish lilt cutting through the tension, "you certainly know how to stun a room, don't you?" The audience roared with laughter. But beneath her playful words lay something deeper. Her eyes, glistening under the lights, revealed more than her carefully chosen reply. For over a decade, she and Sam had weathered the storm of Outlander together: passion, heartbreak, sleepless schedules, triumphs, grief. Fans blurred the line between fiction and reality. But until this moment, neither of them had ever hinted it could be more. The host, sensing the tension, pressed harder. "Caitriona, what do you think of Sam's dream girl? Does she sound familiar?" The audience erupted, desperate for her answer. Caitriona hesitated, biting her lip as if weighing every possible consequence. She could laugh it off, dismiss it as poetic wordplay. But she didn't. "I think," she said carefully, "that Sam has a beautiful way of describing the kind of person anyone would be lucky to have in their life. And if he sees me as part of that, well, I'm honored." Her words were diplomatic, but her glance toward Sam betrayed more: gratitude, tenderness, perhaps something long suppressed. Sam's shy smile in return was worlds away from the boldness of his confession. The audience erupted into thunderous applause, sealing the moment in history. And the internet went wild. #Speechless trended worldwide. Fans argued fiercely. Some swore it was proof of a secret romance, that wasn't acting. That was real. Others insisted it was nothing more than the natural culmination of years of friendship. Even industry insiders weighed in. "Sam and Caitriona are unlike any co-stars I've ever seen," admitted one producer. "Whatever it is, it's built on trust, respect, and something unspoken." For Caitriona, the weight was heavier. Fiercely private, she had always guarded the boundary between her career and her personal life. And yet, here she was, unintentionally exposed, caught at the fragile edge of truth and speculation. Sam, in contrast, seemed calm. Days later, he addressed the frenzy with a practiced smile. "People see what they want to see," he said. "But the most important thing is that Caitriona and I share an incredible bond. She's my rock, my friend, someone I deeply admire. That's all I meant." Still, fans weren't convinced. To them, the confession was too raw, too vulnerable, too real. Social media lit up with romantic edits, montages of old interviews, heartfelt essays proclaiming Sam Heughan and Caitriona Balfe as the true love story of Outlander. Maybe the truth was simpler. Maybe Sam hadn't declared undying love, but acknowledged something rarer, a connection so profound it defied labels. The power of that moment wasn't in its certainty but in its ambiguity. It blurred the fragile line between fiction and reality, between Jamie and Claire and Sam and Caitriona. As the night wound down and the audience finally dispersed, one truth lingered: Caitriona's silence spoke louder than words. Whether she was overwhelmed, touched, or simply swept away, her reaction etched itself into memory. Sam Heughan's confession left its mark, not only on her, not only on the fans, but on their story itself. And as the lights dimmed, one haunting question followed everyone into the night. A question destined to echo for weeks, months, even years: was Sam Heughan's dream girl truly sitting beside him that night? When the interview ended, the room still buzzed with shock. Fans had barely left their seats before the internet detonated. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all flooded with clips of Sam's gaze locking on Caitriona as he declared, "Because she's right here." Within 30 minutes, #Speechless soared to the top of global trends. Fans screamed online, "Oh my God, did Sam just admit Caitriona is his dream girl?" In an instant, a new chapter of Outlander fandom was written. Jamie and Claire weren't just fiction anymore. They were flesh and blood. Slow-motion edits captured every second: Sam's lingering look, Caitriona's awkward smile, the brush of her hand against his arm. Every detail dissected like courtroom evidence. The press pounced, too. By morning, headlines blared: Sam Heughan shocks the world with confession to Caitriona Balfe. From screen to reality, the untold love story. Speechless, The word that rocked Hollywood. A veteran editor at Variety declared, "In 20 years, I've rarely witnessed a moment so unguarded and so powerful." Sam Heughan tore down the wall between character and man. Meanwhile, colleagues treaded carefully. One co-star tweeted, "Anyone watching could feel it. I'm not surprised." But amid the storm, Caitriona stayed silent. No posts, no comments. Only paparazzi photos the next morning, her expression pensive, her ears flushed pink beneath loose hair. Sam, by contrast, stepped into the spotlight days later, calm but enigmatic. When asked directly, "Sam, did you really admit Caitriona was your dream girl?" he paused. The room froze. Then he laughed softly. "I think people hear what they want to hear. But one thing is true, Caitriona has always been the best companion on my journey." Clever, reassuring, yet vague enough to feed the fire. Fans refused to let go. Forums filled with theories. Had Sam and Caitriona been secretly in love, waiting for the right moment? Or was it just a stunt before the final season? One fact united everyone: Caitriona's silence was the loudest voice. A Guardian journalist put it simply, "In a world where every word is scripted, silence is the strongest language." Caitriona didn't need to speak. Her confusion, her eyes, her touch, last night, they wrote a new chapter. The story spread beyond fandom, into podcasts, talk shows, gossip columns, even dinner conversations across Europe. The question became global. Did Sam Heughan just confess to Caitriona Balfe? And then, just when the world thought it had seen everything, something even more surprising happened. And then, just when the frenzy seemed to peak, something even more astonishing happened. Days later, Caitriona finally broke her silence. Not with a press release, not with a neatly polished statement, but with a fleeting moment that fans seized upon instantly. During a charity livestream, she appeared radiant but reserved, answering questions as usual, until someone asked, "What did you think of Sam's words the other night?" For the briefest second, her composure slipped. A smile ghosted across her lips, her eyes flickering with something unspoken. "I think," she said softly, "sometimes the most important things are said without ever really being said." She offered no further explanation, quickly pivoting to the next question. But it was enough to ignite another storm. The clip went viral within hours. Fans froze the frame, dissecting her tone, her look, the weight of her words. Some swore it was confirmation. Others argued it was deliberate mystery. Headlines screamed, "Caitriona speaks, but what did she really mean?" And so the story refused to end. Instead, it lingered in that fragile, tantalizing space between truth and illusion, where fiction meets reality, and where one simple glance or one hesitant smile can change everything. Because perhaps the real answer wasn't meant to be spoken aloud. Perhaps the magic lay in the question itself. And the world was left wondering still. Was the greatest love story of Outlander always unfolding quietly, right before our eyes?